We all know that person, or maybe you are that person, the one who goes completely silent the moment they're hurt. They say, "I'm fine," but their eyes say something entirely different. Most people look at that silence and see a wall. They think you're being cold, stubborn, or manipulative. But what if I told you that silence isn't emotional immaturity? In fact, it's one of the most intense survival responses your nervous system can trigger. If you've ever been accused of shutting down during an argument, you know how frustrating and isolating it feels. You want to speak, but the words just won't come out. It damages your relationships, creates endless misunderstandings, and leaves you trapped inside your own head. But understanding why this happens changes everything. In the next 3 minutes, you're going to learn 3 things. 1. Why your brain literally locks your vocabulary during emotional overload. 2. The childhood survival route that made you trade words for silence. 3. How your stillness is actually an act of emotional integrity, not weakness. When you go quiet in the middle of a conflict, people assume it's a power move, like you're playing a game of emotional chess. But inside, it feels like a total system failure. This is the biological freeze response. Research shows that freezing is just as hardwired as fight or flight. When emotional pain feels too massive to process in real time, your brain pulls the emergency brake. And here's the kicker. Neuroscientists have found that the region of your brain responsible for producing language actually goes quiet during emotional flooding. So when someone is standing in front of you demanding that you just talk and you have nothing to say, that's not stubbornness. Your brain has literally locked the door to your vocabulary so it can focus on something more urgent, keeping your nervous system from short-circuiting. You weren't born this way. Think about it. Children express pain loudly and without apology, but at some point life taught you that expressing your hurt out loud wasn't safe. Maybe you grew up in an environment where your emotions were dismissed, or maybe you opened up to someone who used your vulnerability against you. You did the ultimate logical thing. You adapted. You learned that speaking up had a price you couldn't afford. Your silence is a shield your younger self built to protect you. And while everyone else sees stillness on the outside, your brain is hosting a hurricane. Inside that silence, you are processing. You aren't ignoring the problem. You're stress testing every single word before you let it leave your mouth. You're waiting until you have something fair, accurate, and true to say. There is a profound irony here. Part of your silence is actually an act of love and protection. You hold your tongue because you care enough about the relationship not to blow it apart with reactive, unfiltered pain. You wait until your nervous system reopens that window of tolerance where real communication is possible. You aren't emotionally unavailable. You have emotional integrity. You don't weaponize your words, and you don't say things you can't take back. To the wrong people, that silence will always look like a flaw. But to the right people, they'll realize your stillness isn't distance, it's presence. If you recognize yourself in this video, I want you to know there is nothing broken about you. Your mind is just protecting you in the only way it knows how. If this video gave you some peace of mind, hit the subscribe button and drop the word grounded in the comments so I know you made it to the end. And if you want to understand how trauma reshapes the way we connect with others, check out the video on your screen right now. I'll see you there.